What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, FightfulMMA.com. We've had you covered with all of the UFC Jacksonville shows, from UFC 249 through UFC Jacksonville 1, UFC Jacksonville 2. I don't know if there will be UFC Jacksonville 3, Jacksonville Harder, I think. Or that's Jacksonville with a Vengeance. Well, UFC came in with a vengeance tonight. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Check out our other videos. We have lots of boxing coverage, but we do pick'ems for these shows, these UFC shows, ahead of each one, and we have a great live discussion panel. We had over 350 comments on tonight's live coverage, and right out of the bat, we have a super chat from Maurice who says, "Heartbreaking loss for Walt. The fight ruled, though. I doubt Overeem wants another piece of Ngannou, though. Do you think Colby versus Woodley gets added to Nunes versus Spencer? It's looking a bit dry." Well, I'll answer those kind of as we get to them, but let's go ahead and talk about it. Alistair Overeem defeated Walt Harris, number 8 over number 9. Walt Harris started strong, and I didn't know quite how I felt about the UFC using Anaya Blanchard's murder in order to sell this fight, but you know what? Nobody knows better than Walt Harris if that's okay. It's his situation. It's his life. It's his personal struggle. And if he sees fit to do it, then who am I to question that? He clipped Alistair Overeem and dropped him early. And he was very eager to finish the fight, as he should have. I don't think that Harris did anything wrong. Ultimately, he slipped. And when he slipped, Overeem was able to drag Harris to the ground, and really put the pain on Harris, and there wasn't a lot Harris could do. Overeem has a very underrated ground game, and he did put the pain on Harris, clipped him in the second round en route to finishing him. So after the fight, Overeem consoled Walt Harris, said that he would like to train with him. Overeem's birthday started a mere few minutes ago, but It was a Cinderella story that unfortunately didn't have the Cinderella ending, and we knew it was going to be emotional one way or another, whether Harris won or lost. Unfortunately for Harris, it was emotional for the wrong reasons. Yeah, I can't imagine Overeem wants to jump back in there with Ngannou, but the thing is, the world is Ngannou's oyster right now. His next fight is either for a title, an interim title, or John Jones. And right now, Miocic says that he's going to fight Daniel Cormier whenever he can. So the title is delayed. But John Jones wants to fight Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou wants to fight John Jones. That fight is going to be the one that happens. Overeem probably is going to get another top 10 heavyweight, as will Walt Harris, I would imagine, or maybe a top 15 one.
Other top 10 fighter, because I think that she won this fight over the number 6 Claudia Gadelha. Some real bad decisions on this show. Dan Ige defeated Edson Barboza in Barboza's light or featherweight debut. I thought that Edson Barboza won that fight. Some real rough judging on this card. But Dan Ige picks up the win. Angela Hill, I thought it was a no-lose situation for her. She comes in, she's won 3 in a row, but she's unranked, and she's facing I wouldn't say a perennial contender, but somebody whose name is constantly mentioned in the mix in Gadelha. And Angela Hill fought her ass off, and she should be upset that there was incompetent judging on tonight's show. Real bad incompetent judging. Krzysztof Jotko defeated Eric Anders, as we predicted on the preview show. Then we had bantamweights. Number 13, Song Yadong defeated number 14, Marlon Vera. This was a good fight, and Song Yadong, man, he is 22. He is a wrecking machine. I love this guy. He does not quit. A big win for Song Yadong. They fought at featherweight. Uriah Faber turned some heads because he weighed in for this fight, and I had some people say, "Oh, well, I hope one of these people fall out so he can fight." No, man, this was a legit top 15 fight, and they just cut less weight, and I am all for that, man. As for the question, do you reckon Colby versus Woodley gets added to Nunes versus Spencer. I believe Woodley is fighting Gilbert Burns in 2 weeks on the May 30th show. Now, from what I understand, Sakai and Ivanov, Mackenzie Dern, Hannah Cyphers, and Abreu versus Jamal Hill are also on that show, but I could see them just rolling that into that May 6th or that June 6th show. Also, on this UFC show, we saw Kevin Randleman get inducted, or he will be inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. I'm all for that. As I mentioned, he's a big reason why I'm even interested in MMA. 15, 16 years ago, maybe it was 17 years ago, I saw a VHS tape of a Pride pay-per-view highlight reel that featured Kevin Randleman, Mirko Krokop, Fedor Emelianenko, Quentin Rampage Jackson, and I think Igor. And I was captivated with all of them besides Igor. Wasn't really doing it for me, but Kevin Randleman did, man. He was something special, and I'm glad he's getting inducted into the Pioneer Wing. And pro wrestling fans that listened to my video or read the article know that he had a pro wrestling connection as well. So I'm very happy that he's going into the Hall of Fame. Elsewhere on this show, Miguel Baeza defeated Matt Brown. This is a good win for him. Matt Brown came to fight and went out on his shield. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Miguel Baeza picking up a big win, though. Dana White Contender Series veterans, Kevin Holland just obliterated Anthony Hernandez. 39 seconds, round one. A good win for Kevin Holland there as well. Courtney Casey may have very well bounced Mara Romero Barella out of the UFC. She won submission via armbar. She was very patient, waited for that one, and I think that she may have saved her job while beating Barella out. And that's the thing. Like, I looked at that as a loser leaves town fight. And Courtney Casey's hanging around, and if you're the UFC, you're probably pretty happy about that. Also, I should mention, the scorecards in Yadong and Vera were much closer than than the scorecards indicated. Over half the media had Vera winning that fight. 66% of fans had Vera winning that fight. You also had Chikadze emerging victorious over Irwin Rivera. That was one-sided. No controversy there. Maybe a little more controversy in the Elkins fight. How about this one? 68.5% had Elkins winning that as far as the fans went. But about 66% of media had Landwehr winning that fight. And he is ultimately who took it. These prelims were outstanding. After all the MMA that happened this week in the UFC, I was like, man, an 11-fight card, all right, not so bad. But some of these prelim fights, like Rodrigo Nascimento defeating Dontel Miles, I was like, am I that excited for that? Not really. It's a couple of heavyweights. And good for Nascimento getting that victory by submission, rear naked choke, round 2. But I wasn't interested in that. I wasn't really interested in Chikadze and Rivera. Wasn't really that interested in Casey and Barella or Holland versus Hernandez. Baeza and Brown, yes. Elkins and Landwehr, a little bit more, because I like to watch Darren Elkins fight. But everybody on the prelims brought it. Then Song Yadong and Vera brought it. Really, this whole show was pretty good, even though you had a stretch of about 4 straight decisions and some weird decisions at that. Weird decisions at that. But I thought this was a pretty good show. Nate Landwehr defeated Darren Elkins. We don't really know when the next show is going to be. It was supposed to be next weekend. Was supposed to be. Now they're saying May 30th. I would not be shocked if they just abandoned that and they moved all the fights for May 30th to June 6th, as they should. Because June 6th has Amanda Nunes and Felicia Spencer, and then absolutely nothing else on this show. And nothing else on this show. Nothing pay-per-view worthy. I can't believe they got the balls to run a pay-per-view with what they don't have on that show. Maurice is here in the live chat. He says, Sean, can you imagine a match with Gulak and David Starr? Gulak, Drew Gulak, outstanding technical wrestler, released by WWE. I will be doing a video on that shortly on the wrestling channel. For now, leave a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Until next time, guys, that's it. We're out.